Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the next review, which was WrestleMania 34. What is there really to say? This review is going to be a bit of a downer in comparison to the NXT TakeOver New Orleans review. I mean, can you blame me? Can you blame anyone that reviews this fucking piece of shit, worthless show? I mean, you got John Cena looking like he's retiring at this point. John Cena looked like a fucking pathetic piece of shit. We had 3 months of build-up seeing about John Cena getting his big moment that finally seal the deal in getting a match with someone to compete at WrestleMania. We don't get nothing in response of The Undertaker after all the different opportunities he goes after. And then finally, we get WrestleMania. He's playing the fan, and so on and so forth. He goes ahead, he finally gets word that Undertaker might be backstage. He gets all excited. He jumps up and he runs backstage. And apparently he gets dressed in his in-ring attire. Later on during the show, we got Elias coming out during John Cena's little promo skit and trying to bring about this impromptu Undertaker versus John Cena match. Well, Elias comes out, blabbering his gums. He should be having a moment where he's not doing anything special. He should have a moment where he has something to shine off of. And, the funny part about all this is Undertaker this, Undertaker that, Undertaker blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is, really what should have happened if John Cena was going to lose to somebody, in all honesty, anyone that should have beaten John Cena, it should have been Elias. The Undertaker shouldn't have ever shown up. Undertaker should have never been at the fucking match with him and John Cena. Undertaker should have just stayed retired. That's it. That's all. Simple as that. No need to say, I'm coming back for a match. He didn't need to come back to prove anything, whether he was a washed up has-been, or he's too old, or blah, 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 and whatever. They didn't need to do any of that. Give Roman Reigns the accolade. They already wanted to give that to him anyway, so who fucking cares? Now that they brought him back, it doesn't make Roman Reigns' accolade at all any big of a deal anyhow. He was already defeated by Brock Lesnar before Roman Reigns defeated him, so getting an extra loss on your resume at WrestleMania, it doesn't really make a fucking difference anyhow. So who gives a shit? Truth of the matter is, John Cena should have beaten The Undertaker if he was going to face him. Get his opportunity. Show that Undertaker is no more needed in WWE. And that's the end of that. Make Undertaker look better than what he did against Roman Reigns. That's what should happen. It should have happened Sunday night. But that wasn't the case. At the end of the day, the real match, impromptu match that should have really happened should have been John Cena and Elias. If Elias would have picked up a surprise victory over John Cena at WrestleMania, the crowd would have gone more crazy over that than Undertaker showing up, beating him up for 5 minutes, one-sided beat down, and that's the end of that. What was the point of it? Absolutely nothing. Why am I bringing up John Cena Undertaker as the very first thing in this review? Real simple. The show is decent until it got to the Undertaker and John Cena match. There was nothing about this that even got me remotely excited. I was waiting for John Cena to have an actual physical altercation with him and turn the tide in the match to make it an actual fucking match. Did we get that? Absolutely not. Why? Because The Undertaker is old, washed up, and doesn't need to keep doing this anymore. He is retired. He can no longer continue to doing in-ring performances that go to 10, 15 plus minutes. He can't. This match showed that. Or they wouldn't have had Undertaker beat the living hell out of John Cena to the point where John Cena did not even do anything offensively. It's that simple. Elias and John Cena should have happened. Not Undertaker and John Cena. I'm sorry. Don't agree with it, don't like it. Thought it sucked. By the way, there was some other element I left out of the NXT TakeOver event that I should have mentioned, by the way. The announcing, by the way, in that event was fucking outstanding. Mauro Ranallo, you are the king of kings of announcing at this point in juncture, besides Jim Ross. Jim Ross and you are neck and neck in best in-ring announcing skills I have ever seen in my life. Play-by-play announcers, you two are the absolute best. And I'll tell you what, Ranallo may want to take it down a notch at some point, because he may give himself a fucking heart attack. Because a couple of times I was like, damn, he's getting a little too crazy on the microphone here to announce this match. It was fucking crazy the way he sounded. Too bad the WWE main roster announcers don't do something like that every once in a while. Not all the time, but, every once in a while when something really exciting is about to happen. Michael Cole, he doesn't even sound like he has any charisma, no personality, nothing. He's just a bland fucking you might as well put a bland cardboard box to announce these fucking matches. I think the cardboard box would probably do a lot better than Michael Cole does. Jesus Christ. But I'll get into the other list of these matches and go over them one by one with you. Let me pull this up here for WrestleMania 34. Alright, so, I got the results coming up here in just a second, guys. Sorry about the wait. So, the first thing, the 30-man Battle Royal, Andre the Giant trophy went to Matt Hardy. Good for him. I think that is somewhat of a good deal. Bray Wyatt actually helped him get the win, and Baron Corbin was the last guy eliminated in the match. Cedric Alexander defeated Mustafa Ali for the Cruiserweight title. Why the Cruiserweight title was on the fucking pre-show is beyond me. There was no reason, and I mean no fucking reason, for this match to be on the pre-show. This should have kicked off the show, and we should have seen Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax on the pre-show. That match between those two women was, it's not, one, it didn't have enough build. It didn't have any storyline telling outside of the fact that there was a couple of hints and clues here and there that Alexa Bliss was eventually going to give Nia Jax throughout 2017 the idea that they were going to compete for the Women's Championship and have that one-time classic wrestling moment in their career where friends got to compete over the title. Other than that, the rest of it was horrible build. Horrible excuse to put these two women together in a one-on-one match. Bottom line, did not like it, thought it sucked. Honestly, these two guys got shortchanged in their matchup because of the fact that they weren't put on the main card. The Cruiserweight title should have been on the main card. It was the finals of a 16-man fucking tournament that went on for 4 months almost. I mean, you can't deny that as a main card event for WrestleMania. That was the fucking dumbest thing I ever saw in my life. 20-woman Battle Royal for the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal Trophy. Naomi picks up the victory. I didn't even watch this. Bayley was the last person eliminated. Supposedly, Naomi was hiding underneath the ring doing a Jerry Lawler act, and then eventually going ahead and making Bayley be eliminated out of the match after Bayley eliminated Sasha Banks. Alright, so here's the deal. The main card starts. We'll get into this. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz for the Intercontinental title match. Now, would I have put this match as the first match on the card? Absolutely not. Reason why I wouldn't have is because of the fact that these guys, did in my opinion, I believe they deserved a little bit better than a first match to WrestleMania. Finn Balor is definitely a big-time star. He is a big-time guy that should be pushed but hasn't been properly because of Vince McMahon, in my personal opinion. Seth Rollins, he's already a main eventer from the get-go. There was no reason for Seth Rollins to win the Intercontinental title just because of the fact that he is already a main eventer. He didn't need to win that title. Now, him winning the title because of trying to gain a Grand Slam championship opportunity and have that to his accolades of numerous other accomplishments in WWE. Okay, I get that. But eventually, at some point, they need to get Finn Balor the Intercontinental title. That title is going to be the stepping stone for him to build his way back up to the WWE Universal title at some point and have him get the title for a second time in a real run as champion. And I think that's what the main focus of 2018 needs to be about. It needs to be about Finn Balor and getting him to the promised land of Monday Night Raw. He needs to be at WrestleMania next year competing for the Universal Championship. He needs to be the guy that wins the Royal Rumble of 2019. No doubt about it. This is a hands down guaranteed. Finn Balor needs to be the guy that they push heavily for WrestleMania's main event men's women's championship and win the Royal Rumble as well. There's no doubt about it. And not to mention, Royal Rumble, for the last 2 years since they started this whole brand split thing again, SmackDown has won 2 fucking Royal Rumbles in a row. So it's time to give Raw an opportunity with a star that is well deserving. So in all honesty, if they push him well enough throughout 2018, he will be a believable guy to win the Royal Rumble. And I think that's what they need to focus on for the men's Royal Rumble match. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think as well. Alright, so, yeah, like I said, Seth Rollins defeated The Miz and Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title. A great match. I liked the opener. It was good. I don't think it deserved to be first, but it got the job done. I really enjoyed watching it. It was very promising and very enjoyable to me. So at the end of the day, no matter who won, unless it was The Miz, it would have sucked. I mean, Miz did come close to winning, but he would have won cleanly, which would have been pretty nice if that's what they were going with. So I wouldn't have had a problem with that. But me personally, I think Finn Balor should have won this. But with the way it is, I had no major issues with it. I just kind of wish that Finn Balor would have won more than Seth Rollins. But with that being said, the rating on this, I'm going to give it like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the women's SmackDown title. Why did they have this on second? I have no answer for you. Not to mention having it on second, but also having Asuka lose. You have an undefeated streak going on with Asuka. You have Ronda Rousey, who's now starting in WWE. You could have had Ronda Rousey undefeated, Asuka undefeated, 2 champions, or maybe just 1 champion, and Ronda Rousey wins the Royal Rumble for the females Royal Rumble and goes on to compete Asuka because Asuka is actually undefeated, held on to the title for a long time, and Ronda Rousey wants to compete against one of the best women's champions in a long time. Not to mention you get Asuka having the longest women's title reign in wrestling history. You put on such a hell of... you could get her to have great matches with anybody because the woman can perform and carry a match her own self. So what if she can't speak fluent English? She speaks it well enough to produce a fucking... to promote a match. She is... her whole thing is simplified. You simplize it. I am the best. I am Asuka. I am undefeated. I am the champion. Nobody can stop Asuka. Kind of bullshit. You can't give that to us. Just tonight I'm watching SmackDown and Carmella cashes in on Charlotte. What the fuck is Carmella cashing in on Charlotte for? She lost this women's SmackDown title after defeating an undefeated performer who's like 200 and something for 3 years. How dare you fucking do something like that after you get rid of the undefeated streak for Asuka and then Charlotte looks like a fucking worthless clown and Carmella cashes in on the win. And everyone's cheering about this. What kind of fucking world are these people on, man? It was absolute fucking garbage. And they perform, and I'm not going to give anything against the women's SmackDown title match, any, harsh words or anything, because I was very impressed with the match itself. The end result, though, was completely mind-boggling. Not to mention, Asuka was undefeated and lost not by pinfall, but by submission. I mean, and she tapped out immediately when the figure 8 was put in on her. Like, where is their brains? Like, what the fuck are they thinking? The bottom line here is favoritism. The key word to this entire review for WrestleMania 34 that I've seen is favoritism. I have researched about some of the creative team. They actually like female wrestlers that have blonde hair. You have Alexa Bliss is a women's champion on Raw. She wasn't doing diggly shit with the damn title, not defending it hardly at all, except for the Elimination Chamber match, which, by the way, I did enjoy watching that. That was a lot of fun to watch, but she really shouldn't have had to win or retain the title. It should have been Sasha Banks or Bayley. One of those two should have won the title from Alexa Bliss. And from there, all the other title defenses she had were forgetful. You don't even remember them. Her title reign as SmackDown Women's Champion was more memorable than the one she's had on Raw. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm not impressed with what they did with the women division last two nights ago. I think it was absolute garbage. You put in the SmackDown Women's Championship match second, and after Alexa Bliss facing Nia Jax. Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, if you wanted to go ahead and really go ahead and get technical here, and stick with what was on the main card to begin with, Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax should have been second on the fucking card, because they weren't the big hyped up match. Not to mention, Asuka won the Royal Rumble, so those two should have been competing closer to the main event than competing in the beginning of the fucking show as the second match. Come on. Fucking bullshit. It's just favoritism and bullshit. That's all this is. Vince McMahon likes Samoans. He's got Roman Reigns. Now he's got Nia Jax carrying around the women's title, who has done nothing in WWE in the last year or so since she's came to the main roster. what else can I say? Oh, Roman Reigns got his he was in the fucking main event. Why wasn't AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura? Well, I can tell you why. Because the match was fucking watered down between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. It was nothing compared to New Japan Wrestling of Wrestling Kingdom from when they competed back in 2016, just before AJ came to WWE in the Royal Rumble. And, that match blows this match that they had at WrestleMania 34 in the fucking toilet. So, at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? There's all this is fucking favoritism, political garbage. It's all the stuff that people hated about Hulk Hogan is now on Vince McMahon doing the same thing that Hulk Hogan did. This is all favoritism, and you can clearly see that through the development and the entirety of this WrestleMania pay-per-view, based on the booking and based on how the match qualities were that people expected to see much better than what we saw. And I'll tell you the truth, Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles match tonight on SmackDown was better than fucking AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So someone please explain that shit to me. And the only reason why the match ended on a shitty note is because Shinsuke Nakamura interfered and beat up both of them and to close out the match. So somebody please fucking explain to me how some of the matches on this card that was so fucking great on paper got turned into crap. Well, real simple. Vince McMahon probably told them the matches that he was afraid would, maybe burn out the crowd for Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, the Roman Empire, to go ahead and water it down a bit. Don't get them so excited. I need this main event to be something that the crowd's going to be highly interested in, so take it down a little bit. Take it easy, do your thing, perform, be entertaining, but don't get them so excited so that the main event will be a closeout finish to the show where people are excited and emotionally invested in it. That's what I believe really happened at this event. But yeah, Charlotte beat Asuka for the to retain the title in a submission hold and made her tap out. We haven't seen Asuka at all for the last since WrestleMania. So neither Raw or SmackDown did we see Asuka. Not that I blame her. I think that was a real crying shame. The match itself, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really a good match. It's just the wrong person won. No offense to Charlotte. Charlotte's an outstanding performer and everything, and has been a great women's champion in all aspects. But she really shouldn't have won this match. Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton was the champion going into this fatal 4-way matchup for the United States title. Randy Orton was champ, facing Bobby Roode, Rusev, and Jinder Mahal. Vince, where the fuck is your brains? Oh, I forgot. You love those guys that shoot up those roids, baby. Oh, yeah. Where do you get your vitamins? Oh, I get it from a needle. I get it from anabolic pills. Whatever the fuck form they take nowadays to take anabolic steroids. That's where his mind's at. The body, the look. Not the in-ring performance. Not the crowd reaction. None of it. Just what your body looks like. What your appearance looks like. And Vince McMahon gets a big hard-on from guys that are bulked up like fucking shit on steroids. Oh my god. Like, you would think that he would be punished for looking the way he does. And it's also been mentioned that he was buying anabolic steroids from this guy Richard Rodriguez. Though it's kind of wishy-washy to me what really is going on here with that whole situation, but nor do I really care. At the end of the day, what the fuck is Jinder Mahal winning the United States title? And then to add on, to make it even worse, bringing you guys up to date on SmackDown, today we got to see a triple threat match between Rusev, Randy Orton, and Bobby Roode. Guess who gets the win? Randy Orton does! Yay, we get to see the same repetitive bullshit, only now for a mid-card title. My God, how can Vince McMahon and WWE be even more pathetic and more stupid than they already are? Rusev isn't getting a match for one-on-one match for the U.S. title. Bobby Roode doesn't need one, and neither did Randy Orton. Rusev needs to get the title opportunity and be the United States champion and get back to being the Rusev that is got this gimmick going that works. Vince McMahon is not giving in to the idea that Rusev is loved by the crowd. They love his gimmick. They love what he's doing with Aiden English. Aiden English is working with the crowd too. He's getting pops here and there, and Rusev is getting humongous pops. People wanted to see Rusev win that match. But do we get that? No. When I saw the end result and I saw Jinder Mahal win the match, I was extremely pissed off. Like, where in the world does he had the right to win the United States Championship? I mean, I don't get it. And then on top of it, the worst case of this whole situation is Rusev ends up being the one eating the pin. Again, Vince McMahon giving you the middle finger, telling you to go fuck yourself, I don't care what you think, attitude. Vince McMahon is like a fucking overgrown child who doesn't accept the fact that people don't like the same things he likes about people that they want to put over. He don't want to put over the people that the audience want to see. He wants to put over what he feels is right, what he likes. Is he the entire WWE universe? Is he the entire fan base? I mean, like, come on, man. You're one fucking person. The majority rules over the minority. You're the fucking minority, Vince. You may have a lot of money, but you're still the fucking minority out of all of us. And then on top of it, people are forking out money out the wazoo to see your fucking events. So why not give the crowd what they wanted when they've given you their money? Why not compromise with them? Why not give them what they want? Can't do that, can you, Vince? Of course not, because you're stuck up, stubborn old man who doesn't want to accept the fact that the people don't like the same things you like anymore. Your attitude and beliefs about wrestling is all old, it's out of the formula of what wrestling is today. We don't care about bulky bodybuilders in the middle of a ring performing and holding on championships. Especially ones that do the same fucking thing that they normally do in the ring. One of the Singh brothers, they come on the apron, they interact with the wrestler that's trying to win the title, screws him over, Jinder Mahal hits his finisher on his opponent and wins the match. Where's there any creativity there? Complete, utter garbage. And that's another thing I saw in this event. There was no creativity of any sorts of how to make the match go back and forth, how the ending was. Outside of unpredictable wins, that's about all we got out of this. And most of the unpredictable wins was not stuff we really wanted to see anyway. But that match was a 3, I guess. I'm just being generous. Now, Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. This build was absolute shit. It was all about Stephanie McMahon signing on the biggest name in sports history, Ronda Rousey, who was undefeated for a long time in a real combat sport of MMA. Eventually, she got her ass kicked and she didn't come back from her loss, and she got her ass kicked for a second time in a row. So it didn't work out for her. She apparently got tired of getting her ass kicked and didn't feel like she needed to keep performing anymore. and move on to something else that would better suit her in the sense of giving her an opportunity to really shine and not get her face planted in like a piece of garbage. So, this match, I loved it. I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 5 stars. This match was very good. Ronda Rousey overexcelled her performance immensely. I was very impressed with what she did in that ring tonight. Or, not tonight, Sunday night. That match was great. Triple H should have tapped out to Ronda Rousey's armbar, but at the end of the day, Ronda Rousey made Stephanie McMahon tap out. Kurt Angle's in-ring performance, it was not that big of a deal. It was nothing. If you've seen a Kurt Angle's match in the last 3 years, you've seen them all. It's basically the same shit. Would I like to see Kurt Angle compete in a one-on-one match with another person? Absolutely. I'd like to see Kurt Angle do a singles match where it's just him and his opponent one-on-one. I think that is something we need to see at some point down the line. Because I think that Kurt Angle and Triple H one-on-one might have actually been something really good. It's just the fact that the whole focal point was really on the women. It was Stephanie McMahon and Ronda Rousey, in all honesty. Triple H and Kurt Angle were kind of like the subpar focal point of this whole storyline. But at the end of the day, it was Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon. That's really where it was all about. And I think that was a good thing. It's about time the women get a little bit of shining light on them and expose them for being actual in-ring performers as well as men. I think, we all look at women and we all cherish the one thing that we all want, equality. And I think that what they did here was spectacular. And I think it would have been even more spectacular if Ronda Rousey would have made Triple H tap instead of Stephanie McMahon. That would have been very impressive, and it would make a statement that women can do things just as much as men can do. And I think that would have been really good for them to do. But overall, in-ring work by all four people, very good. I did like Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon's struggle in the submission holds that Ronda Rousey put Stephanie McMahon in. But is it believable? Do I really think in real life Stephanie McMahon could actually do something like that? Absolutely not. But for the sake of entertainment purposes and giving us a struggle between two women trying to win a match, I did enjoy that. That I will give them. But logically, in real life, I know for a fact Ronda Rousey would have planted that armbar, and that would have been that. Stephanie McMahon would not be doing anything to battle back into the match and withstand a submission hold like that performed by an MMA expert like Ronda Rousey. Bottom line. The SmackDown champions, the SmackDown tag team titles. I was very disappointed in this match. The reason why this match was disappointing was because of the fact the Bludgeon Brothers, not because they won, because I was predicting they were going to win. There's no doubt about it. They deserved to win. But it was a squash match. The Usos didn't have really a whole lot of time to shine. It made their title reign look kind of weak with it ending the way it did. I mean, they didn't really put up a big fight here. The New Day, the New Day, they didn't do shit. So really, in all honesty, you kind of destroyed their whole fucking accolades, where they were longest tag team champions of all time. I mean, if you think about it, they really demolished everything that both of those tag teams did, just for the sake to say the Bludgeon Brothers are a dominating team. Okay, great. So eventually they're going to be conquered and beaten for the titles, and that'll be that. So who gives a fuck? This match should have been back and forth. Again, no creativity. Just squash match after squash match after squash match, almost every single match. You don't do that at a WrestleMania event. You have the matches go back and forth, tick for tat, grinding it out to get the winner out of the match. And they didn't do that hardly at all during this event. There was a couple here and there that were like that, but most of it was just squash matches galore. So, who gives a fuck? Makes the Usos title reign, in my opinion, worthless, killed their momentum, and made them look like garbage. Especially their title reign, I thought that was outstanding. And it got destroyed because of the fact that it wasn't the fact that they lost the titles, it was the fact that they were squashed. And that's crappy. Undertaker, John Cena, I already got into that. I'm not going to get into it again. The match I'm looking on Wikipedia only really went officially 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It didn't even go 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. It went 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Not also does that make you know for a fact Undertaker's done. He's retired. It also makes John Cena look fucking pathetic. I mean, you make him lose, it's one thing. You make him lose in less than 5 minutes and he got his ass kicked and hardly did any offense at all in this match to shine and show that he might actually win the match. Completely uncalled for and no need for even this match to happen. John Cena should have been a spectator or facing Elias one-on-one in a impromptu match. And Elias beating John Cena, which would have been a big moment for Elias and his career. If you're going to make John Cena job out to somebody, you might as well have him job out to somebody that's worthy for it, and Elias definitely was it. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. If Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens won, they get rehired. If not, they'd stay fired. This match was a little bit of a disappointment too. It was really a squash match mostly by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Only until Daniel Bryan got back in the picture. He was actually injured. He was laying there as if he was injured during the match from a powerbomb onto the side apron of the ring. But I actually wasn't all that impressed with the overall match itself. When Daniel Bryan finally got in, I started seeing some hope for this match to have some kind of life to state that it was good. And it was good once he got involved. But majority of the match, it sucked. The Shane McMahon had to do all the work. Shane McMahon also was going ahead and he was competing with a bad health issue that he's dealing with right now that I think he got fixed. I don't think they'd have him fucking wrestle with a health issue like that with the Demetrius or some kind of shit with his lower intestines being infected. But he really, I mean, Shane McMahon did pretty okay to hold his own in this match, but it wasn't good enough for me to say that this match was a great match, great in-ring return for Daniel Bryan. We got, like, you know, a good portion of Daniel Bryan competing against both of them, and he picked up the victory with a submission hold on Sami Zayn to get the victory. The match went for 15 minutes and 25 seconds based on what Wikipedia says on their on the pay-per-view itself. What do I give this match? A 3 out of 5 stars. Really, mostly because of what Daniel Bryan did. Anything else but that, this match was got a fucking dud. Nia Jax defeating Alexa Bliss for the Women's Raw Championship. I don't even really have to get into this fucking match. This was a piece of shit. I didn't even watch it. My girlfriend wasn't feeling so good. So I kind of walked away and was trying to help her feel a little bit better with her stomach and all. But quite frank with you, this match did not do anything for me, so I didn't even bother watching it to begin with. Nor do I really fucking care who the hell won the damn match to begin with anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. I'm not even giving this a rating. It's bullshit. Here we go. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. Well, we got a match from New Japan Wrestling back in 2016, 2 years ago. Probably, by far, a close to 5-star match you'll ever see by these two guys. Now, granted, you give them the opportunity, you let them get the chains off, unhandcuff them, and let them get in the ring and do what they do best. Wrestle. Alright. So we get them in the ring. The crowd is fucking dead throughout most of the match. The match itself was bland at best. There was nothing that screamed out to me, holy shit, this is awesome. Nothing of that kind of nature. I was practically looking at my cell phone more than I was watching this match, and it was actually the biggest match that I was looking forward to the most. And it didn't entertain me one single bit. I was waiting for this match to come on at some point, and I did not want to miss it for the world. And what did I get? A piece of shit. Like everyone else got to see. Especially those 70-something plus thousand people that spent their hard-earned money to watch a match that probably was the biggest seller on the whole pay-per-view, and they got that. They got this. The Royal Stiffy. An F you, fuck you, bitch kind of attitude. So, how can I feel good about what I saw? Nothing. This match was nothing but hype. This match was planted in the idea that all hardcore fans knew about their match at New Japan Wrestling. They played onto that, said it's a dream match, and they gave us a fucking nightmare instead. Because that's really what this was. New Japan Wrestling of Wrestling Kingdom in 2016 was a dream match. This one was the fucking nightmare of WrestleMania 34. That's the bottom line about this. And this match, I'm giving a 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that's fucking sad, given that these two men can put an in-ring performance like no other. Shinsuke Nakamura had a bunch of matches this year, or 2017, that was actually pretty decent in some matches. Jinder Mahal matches, count them out. Don't even consider them. They were fucking horrible. SummerSlam and the one that he had at Hell in a Cell, that was fucking garbage. But he had a match with Randy Orton that was good. He had a match with freaking John Cena. He had a match with I'm trying to think of some other people he had matches with. Oh yeah, and Dolph Ziggler at his very first match, his debut match. Him and Dolph Ziggler had the opener, and they shine like two freaking peas in a pod. And then you get this match, which should have been the easiest, highest ranked match for Shinsuke Nakamura's career in WWE. And instead, it's probably the lowest ranked freaking match, even to Jinder Mahal. That's how bad, in my opinion, I thought of this match. It was absolute fucking garbage. And that's pretty sad, coming from a guy that... Two guys that can put on a clinic with anybody. Absolutely disappointing. And then the ending of it all was ended with a low blow. And he finished him off with the low blow. And yet the funny part is the whole build-up was emotion. Dream match and emotions. Apparently, emotions work better than being... like robotic, like Shinsuke Nakamura was saying, would help him succeed. He will find an opening and attack that opening through his emotions. Because his emotions will show those cracks in his arsenal and allow Shinsuke Nakamura to attack and accomplish his goal, becoming WWE Champion. Well, that didn't fucking happen, Shinsei, and you ended up being a heel in the long run. Now, don't get me wrong. I watched SmackDown, as I already mentioned in this review. He is actually looking pretty good as a heel. I won't put it against them for doing that. He's doing, in my personal opinion, I'm kind of liking it. But, was it really necessary? No. I don't think this was necessary at all. I think Shinsuke Nakamura should have his moment, win the fucking title, and walk away the first Japanese WWE champion. At least one of the Japanese performers win the damn major belt from their division. But we couldn't get that, of course, because Vince McMahon is a fucking racist bastard, too. Besides a favoritism piece of shit. So that's all I have to say on that. Raw Tag Team titles. What's there to say about this? We're getting Braun Strowman versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro against Braun Strowman and a mysterious partner. What's his mysterious partner? A fucking 10-year-old kid. Now don't get me wrong, I don't hate... I know where they were going with this. This is like for a sick kid probably, or disabled kid. I understand that, but it really wasn't that good of an idea in my opinion. This is WrestleMania. I could understand if they did this at like a B-level pay-per-view and did this. That would have been fine, but at WrestleMania? Come on. You couldn't have given us maybe an NXT guy, Lars Sullivan, going up with Braun Strowman to win the tag team titles? That would have been fucking great. And then have Cesaro and Sheamus go ahead and get disqualified because they didn't think they'd be able to beat them because they were so dominant. That would have worked out. Who gives a shit about the end result? The end result would have been fine as long as Sheamus and Cesaro retain their titles in some way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter how, it just matters if they stay champion. I don't think they should have had the titles taken away from them. But that's just me. I have no opinion on this match. This match it did nothing for me. I give it a 2 out of 5 star. Braun Strowman deserved a lot better than what he got for WrestleMania. I don't think he needed to be in a tag team title match with anybody. Quite frank with you, I think he should have been in the main event picture. It should have been a triple threat match for the Universal title. At least we would have gotten a lot better than that piece of shit that we just saw 2 nights ago at WrestleMania 34. Which brings me to the last match. Brock Lesnar, WWE Universal Champion, defeating Roman Reigns. Let me put it to you this way, guys. The match was very shocking how it ended. It was shocking how the in-ring work was one-sided. German suplex after German suplex after German suplex, and about 5 to 7 F5s done to Roman Reigns, and yet still, by the 7th one, it didn't even put him away. I don't know what the fuck Vince McMahon was trying to pull here, but the fans, even with Brock Lesnar winning, did not like the end result. You know why? Because they're sick and tired of seeing Brock Lesnar not defend the title like every other WWE champion. They're tired of seeing Brock Lesnar hold on to the title. They don't see the use of him being involved in the world title picture anymore. He has done everything possible as a champion you can possibly look for. Now, if they're trying to reconstruct his title run to make it more valuable and put more prestige to it, I get that, but they better put a lot of hard work in the next couple of title matches that he has. He's having a rematch with Roman Reigns in a steel cage match that was announced on Monday Night Raw. And it's for the Universal title at the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. If they want this to be pulled off, they better make sure they make Brock Lesnar win. Because if they make Roman Reigns win, what was the fucking point of Roman Reigns losing at WrestleMania? You might as well should have just made Roman Reigns fucking win the title. the whole thing is utterly ridiculous. This match was a fucking 1 out of 5 stars. That's how bad it was. That's how bad people couldn't even stand it. They were chanting, "This is awful." They were chanting CM Punk. They were chanting Roman Reigns sucks throughout the entire fucking match. And it just was disgusting. And all overall thing here, it was disgusting. It was probably by far the worst main event WrestleMania match I have ever seen with Roman Reigns in the last 4 years. This was probably the worst one I've ever seen him in. His best one was when he faced Brock Lesnar the first time. That was a match. Those guys actually it was, same fucking moves over and over again, but they got you excited and wondering if Roman Reigns was going to lose or was he going to win. And then they did a cash-in that made it even better, with Seth Rollins becoming the new WWE champion for the very first time. There was no surprises going to be made in this match, so at the end of the day, you really didn't have a whole lot of unpredictability outside of giving Brock Lesnar to win, which is what they did. Brock Lesnar also made Roman Reigns bleed profusely in this match from elbow strikes in a full mount position based on MMA skills. So, pretty fucking harsh by Brock Lesnar to do that to the Roman Reigns cocksucker, Samoan Pig. No offense to Samoans or anything, I have nothing against you guys, but Vince McMahon is has too much favoritism to Samoans. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, you want to have them succeed, get over Vince. How about making them what they are? The audience don't like him, so make him what they want him to be: a bad guy, a heel, a guy that don't give a shit and is a prick. That's what Roman Reigns is. That is his charisma that he projects to the audience. And right now they're making him look like he's the stand-up guy, the face of WWE, that's standing up to the part-time and wrestling pig who's taking advantage of his privileges and not caring about WWE audiences. When 2 years ago, when he won the WWE Championship, he said, "I don't care if you boo me, you cheer for me, whatever. I ain't a bad guy, I ain't a good guy, I'm just the guy." Well, that's kind of a, unhumbling perspective on things, and very shitty attitude, may I add. So, in all honesty, he plays the heel character very well, and he needs to become a heel, and he needs to start interacting with the crowd based on that negative reaction that he gets all the time. He would be such a success as a heel than he would as a face. Nobody's going to stop watching him no matter what. So make him what he is to make it work properly for him so that people have a reason to really boo him. The only thing they're booing him for is because of what you're doing, Vince. You want him to get over with the crowd in one way or shape or another? Have him play what the people are cheering on him about. If he's not being cheered, he's being booed, then based on the cheer reaction, if it's negative or positive, you have him be what he is, a negative guy. Simple as that, Vince. Not hard. Pretty simple what you used to do, but apparently now that doesn't really seem to make a difference to your fucking ass. So who gives a shit? Anyway, guys, leave your comments and opinions down below. Let me know what you guys think about my review and what this event meant to you. If it meant nothing at all, I don't blame you. It was a piece of garbage to begin with. Hit the like button if you liked the video, and on top of that, guys, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.